Hi there and welcome to 160th Tech Q&A session where I'll be answering some of your tech related questions, and this Q&A session is powered by Lenovo Z UK, and you can post your questions using Twitter using the hashtag #Geekyranjit, and I've also taken up some questions from the YouTube community. That feature was just enabled for our channel recently, so I have also selected some questions from there. So let's get on with this, and if I sound a little bit dull, the reason is I'm not well, still having some fever, but wanted to post this Q&A, so just bear with my voice. And the first question that I got was from Anthony, a very interesting question. I have been getting these sort of questions earlier also, so just wanted to take this up. He says a powerful quad-core processor like 2.5 gigahertz or something, or an octa-core processor with less processing power, which one would you prefer? I would prefer a processor that is actually more efficient, and right now I would go with the quad-core processor instead of the octa-core. To understand this, you have to understand how processors work and what is multi-processing. The thing is that a processor is nothing but whenever you get a task, it acts on it. And with multi-core processor, you might be thinking 8-core, that is octa-core processor, might be better than a quad-core. That's not always true. The simple fact is that every task that you get to the processor cannot be broken up into, let's say, 4 or 8 parts. Hence, the other cores will be simply idle. So in that respect, a lower powered core processor, for example, a dual core or even a quad core might be more beneficial. That's the reason that the iPhones till now just had a dual core processor, but those two cores were really fast and efficient. Just now with the iPhone 7 and the iPhone 7 Plus, Apple moved to a quad core. So I would definitely prefer a more efficient quad core over an octa-core processor. It's just marketing, guys, and that's the reason you see that the Snapdragon 820 chipset, which is having a quad-core processor, is sort of the flagship processor as of now, and will beat out many of the octa-core processors. And the next question is from Salim Khan. He's asking about audio. He's asking how to make my audio a bit clear. I'm not using a dedicated microphone. Any software tweaks? Salim, to get the best audio, you have to invest in a good quality microphone. Yes, you can do a little bit of audio tweaks using Audacity and other software, but simply it cannot repair audio. That's the reason I invest in very good microphones. If you don't have a very high budget, I would say go with a lapel mic and connect it to your camera if that is a possibility. That will hugely improve the audio. So again, invest in an external microphone, because the audio that you record from your camera might not be good. If you don't have the budget for external microphone setup, I would say record your audio just using your smartphone. The smartphone audio recording would be any day better still than the camera's audio. I hope that helps. Next question is from Asim. He's asking how to enable VOLTE in Samsung Galaxy S7, he says, which he says he bought it from Dubai. I'm getting only 4G signal, not VOLTE. For voice, I'm using Geo Voice app, which is very bad. Sorry to say that the unit that you brought from Dubai will simply not support the VOLTE here in India. It's a different model and the bands are different. I've noticed this with some of my friends also. And in fact, the Note 7, which I imported from Dubai, also did not work with Geo VOLTE here in Hyderabad. It's the bands are different. This is by Ronak. He's asking, is the Galaxy J7 a nice phone under rupees 15,000? Is it worth the price? I would say if you're asking to get worth the price, then I would simply say it's simply not worth the price. But still, if you just want to go with the Samsung phone, you can go, but you're paying a lot for what you are simply getting. I would say you have far much better devices in this price range. For example, the Redmi Note 3, the LE2 is also a good phone, and if you don't do a very heavy gaming, then the Moto G4 Plus. All these phones will be much better than the Galaxy J7. That's my frank opinion. Next, move to, this is from Mr. Vilo. He's asking, buying the Moto G Turbo now, what's your opinion? Any other alternative? Don't go with the Moto G Turbo now. It's sort of old, and the screen quality on the Moto G Turbo was simply not that great. Again, as I've told you, in that price segment, you can have the look at the Redmi Note 3 and even the Lenovo K6 Power. Both of them would do better. Again, the Lenovo K6 Power also has incredible battery life, but if you want slightly bigger, then we have the Redmi Note 3. So I personally wouldn't recommend the the Moto G Turbo as of now. This is from Vinod, again a microphone related questions. Best microphones for making short, I think so you missed the word films. I would say if you're on a very tight budget and want to make short films, invest in a lapel mic. Don't go for very high branded ones. They can be expensive. There is one from Ahuja that is selling for just about 900 rupees. That's a good one. And invest in audio recorder also, because the DACs that you have on the cameras are simply not that great, and with this one you have sort of a portable setup. So I would say invest in that. In fact, the video that I shot earlier today, that was in my new studio, I used this exact setup. This is a cheap lapel mic and this audio recorder. So I would say go with that setup. It shouldn't cost a lot. Yes, the voice recorder can be a little bit expensive as of now, but again, this is a good investment. I think so the one that I'm using, I purchased it about 4 years ago. So that's what I would say. Next, move to this is by Arun Kumar. He's asking, is the Moto Z Play's camera better than the Moto G4 Plus, or are they the same? I don't think so the cameras are same, because I took some sample pics side by side, and the pictures on the Moto G4 Plus were much better, particularly in focusing. The Moto G4 Plus was far superior. The simple fact is that the Moto Z Play for some reason does not have that laser autofocusing system, and it sort of hunts when in tricky situations. That was not the case with the Moto G4 Plus. So if camera is just the priority, I would say the Moto G4 Plus strangely would have better performance, particularly from the rear facing camera. The front facing camera is better on the Moto Z Play. I hope that helps. This is by Mohit Khanna. He's asking, can you suggest me a full HD LED TV, smart or non-smart, doesn't matter. Size around 43 inches, budget around 40 to 50k. Mohit, I recently purchased a couple of TVs. I went for the Panasonic 49-inch LED TV. It's full HD, and I got it for 52,000, and I'm very happy with that. The reason is that it's an IPS grade screen, and if you know a little bit about screens, IPS grade screens are far superior. So you can have a look at that. It was the Shinobi Pro 50-inch non-smart, sorry, 49-inch non-smart version, and I got it for 52,000. You can have a look at that. LG also makes one more panel. I don't know the exact pricing, but you can also check that. That's also IPS grade. I hope it helps. This is by Raj. He's asking, OnePlus 3T versus Nexus 6P, which one for rupees 30,000? Raj, I would say if camera is your utmost highest priority, then the Nexus 6P still has a slightly better camera compared to the OnePlus 3T, especially in indoor and artificial lighting conditions. In outdoor conditions, even the OnePlus 3T camera is actually pretty good. So if camera is your highest priority, OnePlus Nexus 6P. Else, I would say the OnePlus 3T in almost every other situation. The OnePlus 3T is a very fluid phone, no issues of RAM management. It's a great experience, I would say. But yeah, camera, Nexus 6P, rear facing camera, I would say specifically. So yeah, it comes down to the camera, I would say. Next is from Vishal. He's asking, when will we see your new office? The new office is still in works, but I did post one of the videos just today, my analysis of smartphones for 2016. That was shot in the new office, one of the sets. You can have a look. I'll have the link in the YouTube show notes. And before we move to the next question, here is a poll that Lenovo has for us. And it says, Media Junkies, how many hours of screen on time do you get? You can use the hashtag tell Lenovo to give them feedback. First option is just about 2 hours, really bad. Second option is 3 to 4 hours, it could be better. Third option is 6 to 8 hours, it's great. And last option is 10 hours, 4000 milliamp hour battery. Again, a link for the poll will be in the YouTube show notes. You can give your vote. So let's move to the next one. This is by Mr. Singh. He is asking, do you think Google would introduce some budget to mid-range oriented smartphones in the future? If you think in the Pixel lineup, I don't think so they will launch budget oriented phones with the Pixel range, but they do have, Google had launched budget oriented phones with Android One earlier, but they did not have that much success. So I'm not very sure if they will launch a new model specifically in India in 2017. But Android One is the budget range of phones. This is by Mr. Murugan. He's asking, is VoLTE related to software and hardware? It's a combination of both. For specific VoLTE bands, your hardware should have support for that radio bands. And yes, it has to also be enabled via software. And this is from Akhil. He's asking, for normal day-to-day usage, no gaming, no editing, nothing, just normal use, which laptop is preferable? Which brand in India is better in terms of quality and end user experience and after sales service? I'm not a heavy user of Windows laptop, but in my family have seen some, and I would say with your case scenario, you can have a look at Lenovo laptops. They were very good. One of my uncles had it for about 5.5 years and it worked without any issues. Generally, the problem with Lenovo laptops, particularly in the budget range, is that screen quality is not that good. But yeah, you can up the budget. Just have a look, go to one of the Lenovo stores and have a look. They have some higher range models that have a good screen. So Lenovo comes to my mind. And I also, this is a long math, this is about 8-9 years ago, I had good experience with Dell laptops. So again, check them out, I would say, because it differs from brand to brand, the performance and the screen quality, etc. This is by Mr. Naman. He's asking, buying the iPhone 6 at this time, is it good or not? Or would it get outdated very soon? Please suggest a phone up to rupees 25,000 better than the iPhone 6. The iPhone 6 is, yes, sort of old now. It's more than 2 generations old. So yeah, it's not completely outdated, but yeah, I won't say it'll get software updates for almost next 2 years, but after that, I can't say. I would say I would recommend you the Moto Z Play over the iPhone 6. The Moto Z Play is a very good handset. It has incredible battery life. But in terms of camera performance, I would say rear facing, not the front facing. I feel the iPhone 6 might do better because the Moto Z Play does not have any optical image stabilization. I hope it helps. But in terms of battery life, definitely Moto Z Play. And I have recommended the Moto Z Play to many of my friends and relatives, and all of them are very happy. But I had warned them, the camera is not the best. Again, check out my full review for the Moto Z Play for details, pros and cons. Let's move to the next one. This is by Mudit. This is a earphone related question. He's asking between the Mi In-Ear Pro or the OnePlus Bullet 2 earphones. I would say the Mi In-Ear Pro would sound better. But again, the Mi In-Ear Pro do cost a little bit more. I think so 300 rupees more than the OnePlus Bullet 2. But again, if you can go up to that budget, I think so it's 1500 rupees. Go with the Mi In-Ear Pro. Again, I have already posted my review, so check out that for details. This is by Mihir Patel. He's asking, what is the miscellaneous files and how are they counted? Actually, my friend has a Lenovo A6000 and it has got 5 GB of miscellaneous files and it increases every week. Mir, these is nothing but temporary files. If you own a Windows laptop or a computer also, you have stuff like temporary files. This is nothing but that. You can safely actually delete it. Go to the storage tab and after some time it will pop up and you can just safely clear it. I generally clear it almost every week. But if you don't do it, like your friend hasn't, it can grow very large. So it's safe to delete that. It's sort of junk and temporary files. This is by Paras. He's asking, which is better, Lenovo ZUK Z2 or the Moto G4 Plus. I would say in terms of general overall performance, definitely the Lenovo ZUK Z2 goes way ahead compared to the Moto G4 Plus. But in terms of camera, specifically the rear facing camera, the Moto G4 Plus has a far better rear facing camera. Again, in front facing camera, strangely the Lenovo ZUK Z2 does a good job. So it depends. If camera is not your highest priority, I would lean over the Lenovo ZUK Z2. But camera highest priority, Moto G4 Plus has simply a better camera. Let's move to the next one. This is by Sharath. He's asking, is there any heating issues with the OnePlus 3T? I have a Nexus 6P, planning to buy the 3T. 6P heats up a lot. And battery life of 3T versus 6P. I would say in terms of battery life, I would give a slight edge to the OnePlus 3T. It'll give you slightly better battery life, about 10 odd percentage, 10 to 15 odd percent difference that you'll notice based on your usage. In terms of heating, the OnePlus 3T does not heat up as much as the Nexus 6P. So yeah, it'll get a bit warm, but not as warm as the Nexus 6P. Only case where I noticed that the OnePlus 3T was overheating was with extended gaming, and that too when I was playing Asphalt. You can check out my gaming review. But I've been using the OnePlus 3T now for so many days. I was in Mumbai for almost a week, and exclusively it was on 4G data. And then also with regular usage, I did not notice any overheating. The only overheating I noticed was when I was playing Asphalt 8. So let's move to the next one. This is by Rishabh. He's asking LE2, that is the LECO LE2 or the K6 power, camera and performance priority. I would say obviously in terms of performance, the LE2 has a way better processor. So yeah, the LE2 would go ahead. And also I didn't do side-by-side comparison, but as far as I recall, the LE2 actually had a pretty good camera. So even in camera, I would say the LE2 might go ahead. But again, the pricing of the LE2 is slightly different compared to the K6 power. In terms of battery life, definitely the K6 power will go ahead. Hope that helps. This is by Mr. Amal. He's asking, smart TV or the normal TV plus Chromecast for a budget of about 25 to 30,000. Amal, I recently, as I mentioned, I purchased 2 television and I purchased the non-smart televisions, and I'm just plugging in the Chromecast to make them smart. So if I were you on a tight budget, I would just go with the normal non-smart television and just add a Chromecast. I hope that helps. And this is the last question. This is from Vineet. He's asking, so many tech reviews on YouTube having contrary opinion on the same device or the gadgets. What's your view on this? How do we consumers know which one to go with? Vineet, yes, I've also seen this very conflicting reviews from some people, and it's up to you to trust, see the credibility of that person from how long he's posting and what are the comments and stuff, and be wary of people who just try to post a review very quickly, like a hands-on review. I know many people who give judgments of particular devices from the launch event. I don't know how they can do that. So again it depends. I would say, if check, you will know if a person is trying to put out a very quick review without testing and stuff. And in India, I would say trust Ash from C4E Tech. Amit Bhavani also is a good guy, but lately he's not posting reviews. He can be very blunt, I would say. Problem with Amit is that he finds a slight average issue also. He said like it's rubbish. So that's what I hate with Amit. But again, he's also very frank. So again, you would know by judging the, from person to person, the review can differ. But again, stay away from reviews and be careful if you see verdicts about device at the launch and stuff, because testing a device frankly does take quite a bit of time. So guys, these were some of the questions for this Q&A session. I hope you like them, and if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. So thanks for watching this video, and I hope to see you very soon. Take care, guys.